One.
Crush a bit, little bit, roll it up, take a hit, feeling lit, feeling like 2 a.m. summer night. I don't care, hands on the wheel, driving drunk, I'm doing my thing, rolling the Midwest side now, living my life, getting out jeans. People told me slow my roll, I'm screaming out.
I think I had to stop it then because of the time.
Yeah, but it was a rather perfect cut.
Nothing. I just scream into the void and it's silent.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, folks.
It's week 15.
It's Thursday of the last week of actual classes before finals.
And I
As
am low energy.
I've put in some of my responses to you guys, number one, if I'm writing in all caps, please just know I'm doing that not ironically, but purposefully. I'm not a boomer, so it's not like I forgot what that means. Usually I'm purposefully trying to yell at you when I do that. So when I'm saying like woohoo, there's a reason it's in all caps, or I'm so excited for you. Like there's a reason. Because this semester, as I know for you guys, because we've been doing these check-ins, this semester just seems like it has been really long. Like
Yeah.
really long. This 15 weeks, although it went by quickly, it seems like we suffered a lot in this 15 weeks, where it's just been prolonged agony. So, man.
But it's almost over. My yawning is not an indication of I don't know. It's no judgment on the company. I am low energy today. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's week 15 and my body's like, all right, it is time to just shut down and take a nap.
Yeah. I just all week this week has been really weird, chaotic things. So yesterday with you and the fish hook kid and
The fish hook kid.
the fish hook kid. That sounds like a really cool band name. So Monday it was, I swore that there were tornadoes, like clouds on the commute. I don't know if you saw it Monday when you were coming in, but
Oh, I didn't.
yeah, like all because it's kind of that weird stormy thing or whatever. So the clouds look like tornadoes, lots of them coming up from the swamp. So I'm like, am I dying today? Is this it? Is this the thing? Because my playlist was really good. So I just kind of was like, this is it. I'm content. I had a great morning with my son, gave him lots of hugs and kisses, and I'm ready. I was SpongeBob singing, I'm ready. So then Tuesday was just a weird day. Wednesday, yesterday, just once again, because, he's not listening to these, obviously. Austin left his project still in my office. He still hasn't picked it up since last week. And has a fish hook on it, and a student got caught, like literally got caught on the fish hook. And I tried to recruit Jason for help, who then pricked his finger like he's Aurora from Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah. Fortunately, no blood. No blood.
No
It wasn't
blood.
that bad.
And then Kid got his stuff stuck on it the second time as we were trying to get him out of it the first time. So yeah. And then here's Thursday. It's just, I don't even know, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute my mic while I try and find the next song.
Okay. All right.
Just because you've been having weird stuff hearing my mouse click, right?
Yeah. We were just talking about how somehow, I don't know if Zoom has changed up its settings or what's going on, but like normally Zoom like filters out any sort of environmental noise. But I was hearing every little creak and crack, and when she was playing something over her speakers, I was hearing that. But yeah, it's week 15, and you have very little that remains that you owe us. There's no quiz this week. You're just responsible for reading what you need to read and watching those lectures that we put out there. In my case, you have nothing to read. I decided to give you guys a break from reading anything. So all the info that you need from me is in the lectures that I've put out there. And then next week we have the final exam, or exam number 3 as it's listed in your syllabus. It's essentially the final, which is going to be constructed very similar to how exam number 2 and exam number 1 were, with only the smallest of differences. There'll still be those 25 multiple choice questions. This time, however, most of those are coming from quiz 7 and 8. You got a little bit of material this week, so there'll be at least a few new questions from the material this week. And then after those 25 multiple choice questions, the answer keys from quizzes 7 and 8 will have released to you very soon, by the way. After those 25 multiple choice questions comes the essay portion, where, just as before, you'll get your options of essay prompts from Professor McIntosh. Pick one, write on that, and with me, you'll get a choice of prompts from me as well, and write your essay on the one that you choose there. You guys know how this is done by now. You're not new to this. You're like professionals at this point.
There's one small change to my essay prompts, I guess is what I'm trying to say, for the final exam. So normally I have it to where it's like it's an image that has the prompts in it. This time I just typed text and then I provided an image that has the 2 choices. So it's going to look like you don't have 2 prompts for me, but it's actually like I typed out like look at whatever and then go from there. Like, so the directions is where the question is, and then I have 2 options for you to choose from. So this doesn't make sense right now, but just know I'm still giving you like 2 options. You have 2 things to choose from, but the question is the same.
Yeah, I'm doing the exact same thing.
Because we had kind of a weird bit with the like postmodern lit in particular, where it was like really weird poetry, and in that whole packet, you know, it's not really it's not something that I feel like would be helpful to have it where I had 2 separate questions, like comparing and contrasting one from modern and postmodern, because I only gave you the theistic existentialist modernist example, which was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So I tried to do something that makes it work for this, but don't be alarmed if you just see like the one image. Within that image, you've got your 2 options there. Okay. But you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
And I've got the same thing. It's just that I want you to respond to works of art. And so I'm going to give you the images of those, and Google Classroom only allows you to attach that one image. So I need to actually type the question out in the body of that question, and then give you the images as an image. But yeah,
that was the problem I had too, is because I couldn't do 2 images. So if I wanted to use examples of, you know, something that's kind of modernist and then postmodern, I couldn't do 2 images. So there's one image, but I made it to where within that image, your 2 options are clear.
Yeah.
It's just the question it's attached to.
Yep.
So it's just one question, but you have 2 options to pick from to answer that question, if that makes sense. And whatever you've heard about us giving joke finals, like that was a thing, but like we actually have a real final this time. So
yes,
apparently, even though we said you're not supposed to talk about it, people talked about it, and we got a little bit, you know, we got some correction from
during the real thick of the pandemic, we had a couple of exams where the questions were just, do you agree this is an exam? Yes or no? Do you agree not to tell anybody about the fact that this exam only has these 2 questions? Yes or no?
And apparently that second part where it's like, are you aware that you're going to keep this, like, do you agree to keep it to yourself so there can still be magic and like love in this deep, dark, depressing time? That doesn't apparently matter anymore because
Yeah.
people had to snitch.
Yeah.
So now we have to punish,
Well, I
not because we wanted to.
I remember last semester, one of the study sessions are a thing we'll talk about in a moment, but in one of the study sessions, there was a student, might have been a couple of students in there, who had been in one of the semesters where we had done that, who in the study session said, so are you going to do the same thing you did with the last semester's final exam? And we were like, no, we can't keep doing that. Yes, apparently.
But it is a
Rather
final exam. It's not going to be comprehensive. So that's why Professor Cole said technically it's a final exam, but we view it as an essay 3. So don't fash yourself. You'll be fine, and you should be fine. There's no reason why you shouldn't be fine. Let's talk about the study sessions.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of a scheduling thing that Jason and I had to work out with his grading and my grading and his personal life and my personal life and exam week and whatever. So the only time that we had absolutely together on Monday and Tuesday that was not in conflict with what would be appropriate hours for you guys as well as our lives was that 11 o'clock lunchtime. So what we did is there's not going to be an option like for night sessions, and we know, and we're sorry. It's just, that's the way the cookie crumbled this time. If I didn't have to teach classes where I had to grade papers, like if I had just figured out math, actually I like math, but if I had just done that, I guess it would be different. But
Yeah.
so we're doing Monday and Tuesday study sessions, Monday, May 2nd and Tuesday, May 3rd at that 11 to 12 o'clock time. You'll get the notice. I think I have mine scheduled for 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Sorry to disturb you during exams that week. But it's got the Zoom link attached. It's a Zoom. Both of us will be there, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like one or the other. We'll both.
That was what I was about to say, is that another thing that was a deciding factor was that as we were discussing it, we were both like, we don't want to have to do a study session completely on our own again. And any night study session was going to be one or the other of us and not both. You know? So the 11 o'clock Monday and Tuesday is the best time to have both of us there to pick both of our brains.
And we will record and get those out like immediately as soon as we can for those days. Again, attendance isn't required. If you can attend, great. But we made it to where it's during the break that's already been given by the university during exams for lunch. So we did it from 11 to 12. You just need to make sure that you come with whatever questions you have to ask, and we will do what we can to help. But that's the 2nd and 3rd, Monday and Tuesday of next week. Now, the final exam was normally going to happen 3:30 till 5:30 if this were in person. And I do believe that the other sections, they have their exams in person. So what we did to try and make it at least kind of aligned with that is we have it to where the exam opens Tuesday at 5:30. So Tuesday,
3:30.
May 3rd.
At 3:30.
At 3:30. I'm sorry, at 3:30. And it's not closing in 2 hours, guys. We've never done that to you. Okay. We've never made it to where you only had like an hour and 15 minutes. We're going to have the exam open for you at 3:30 on Tuesday, May 3rd, and it will stay open. Remember, there's no time limit. You just need to make sure that you have it completed and submitted by Thursday, May 5th,
Yeah.
Yep. And a check. At 12 p.m., which is noon, midday lunch, not midnight. All right. We would have normally tried to give you as much time as possible. As you know, we like to open up the exam on a Wednesday and it closes on a Sunday. But this is the final exam. This is the last thing. And we have students who are graduating
Some of
that
you are
Saturday.
graduating. Yeah.
So we have to make sure that we have everything graded and compiled and calculated. So that way we can make sure that everything is right before we submit those grades to the registrar for the graduating seniors. So yeah.
So you can walk on that stage with confidence
Yep.
on that Saturday.
And as far as like calculating extra credit and stuff, we've already communicated that to you guys. Whatever your grade is showing in Google Classroom is not off from our calculation. As far as like, it's not like if you've got a C showing, you know, you're not failing in the spreadsheet. All right. Like, so that's a good baseline. All right. The extra credit is what boosts the grade. So
Yeah.
whatever score is showing for you in Google Classroom right now, that's a good place to be. All right. That's a good estimate. Remember, extra credit gets added on the end anyway. So if you're like at an 88 right now before you take the final exam, you're not really at an 88, are you? Because if you have extra credit, then you know that's probably pushed you up to an A. Like
Yeah.
mathematically, I want to say that when I looked at the difference in our spreadsheet, I think for most of you who have extra credit, it was like 5 points difference. So it was boosting people's total grades up by 5. Some of you guys have a whole lot of extra credit, so it's way more than that. But I want to say, like, for most of you, it was a 5-point difference. And that's because it's already dropping that lowest quiz score. It's adding extra credit in there. It does math and it rounds things up in each category before it gets plunked into the thing. And then we do elementary math rules when we're figuring it out. Like, okay, this person has like an 89.89. All right, well, that seems like that's a 90 to me.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah.
at the same time, if your grade is looking good and you're happy with it in Google Classroom right now, don't take that to mean that you can like relax and like bomb exam 3. It's still a good 200-point chunk.
Yeah.
It's got a pretty good weight to it. So I wouldn't just be like, okay, I can lay back and relax and chill. You don't want to.
Go ahead, Jason.
I was just gonna say, you don't want that to be the thing that does manage to drag you down a bit. All right.
And please don't email us and ask us about your grades, please. Jacob, I know you were asking like, hey, how can I figure this out? Like we're here. We're, you know, by the way, we don't have office hours next week. So if you decide that you want to come here on Wednesday and looking for me, like, no, I'm only here to do my exams. I have no office hours. So email is best. In fact, I'm not even going to be on campus Monday or Tuesday because I don't have any exams scheduled. That's another reason why I was like, well, yeah.
Tomorrow before I leave, I will be doing the ritual removing of the office hours from my office door.
Same. It's a rite of passage for all of us. Our office hours conclude on Friday. So don't assume that you can just drop in and ask us questions about whatever. You're going to have to contact us electronically if you're going to have issues. But we don't talk about grades via email anyway. So don't email us and ask us about your grades because we're telling you right now, no, we won't discuss it. There's a
We
weird
don't
tickle
talk
in my
about
nose.
grades. No. We don't talk about grades. I have a child who cannot stop listening to that soundtrack. So you can't say we don't talk about and then fill in anything at the end of it without that song coming to my mind right now.
It was the exam week, not a professor in their office. No profs in the office. Sorry. I was trying really hard to figure out how I can make it work and I just made it awkward. Yeah.
And there was
It was your finals. No clouds allowed in the
Yeah.
sky. Yeah, that's all we have. I don't
Yeah.
really have anything else. Do you?
Nope.
Nope. So just
It's been a great semester, I would say. It
oh my
has
gosh.
it may have felt like it was taking forever. But you guys have been a great group. You should all be proud of the projects that you did. This was a particularly nice group for that as well. Yeah, I like overall, I've had a really great semester with you guys in particular. Um, well, I'm getting my internet connection is unstable reports. I don't know if you heard me say those words or not, but
So you froze really badly, and then it
yeah.
was like an awkward pause, and then it was like just a great group. Like
We'll see
it
how
was,
it actually did in the recording.
yeah,
But
it
anyway,
was
yes, thank you for what has been a good semester. I have, whereas there may have been other courses that I didn't always look forward to, this was one where I looked forward to the lectures, I looked forward to feedback from you guys, and for the most part, even enjoyed what you guys had to write in essays and things of that nature. There's my my Jerry Springer wrap up at the end.
okay. I'm not gonna do that. Like I'm not, because you went to Jerry Springer and I was like, there were no fights. Like
Yeah,
what?
well,
I just it
I
didn't
just
connect with
always,
me, Jason. It didn't do
huh?
it. It
I
didn't
just
connect.
always loved how like he would always pretend at the end like anything that we had just watched had any like there was anything about what we just watched that was poignant or there was a lesson to be learned, and he would just have that talk looking straight into the camera like we really learned some things today. What did we learn about ourselves? And well, we learned that you can throw a bunch of crazy people who want to be on TV who will scream and throw chairs at each other. That's what we learned, but he's going to pretend like there's something.
I have nothing to add to whatever this is. I very much enjoyed this semester with you all. Please make sure that you do your extra credit, by the way. It's the last time I'm going to check in with you, and I'm not joking. I can tell some of you are just not having a good time.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to joke. I understand that. And we're sorry that we contributed to that in any way, shape, or form. Jason's laughing. I'm being serious, but I often am not serious. So who knows? Those of you who are like already checking out where you're like, I'm just ready for this to effing end. Same. Absolutely same. Those of you who are already like, I want to go to the beach. Me too. I already got my vacation booked. Woo! It's happening. It is happening. I am done. I am absolutely done.
I get it.
And yeah, so all of the things that you're feeling, those of you who got a brand new job, you bought a brand new house, or you got a new house to you, you're getting like internship opportunities. Like, dude, when I'm yelling at you in all caps, it's because I'm excited, not because I am a boomer and I don't know what I'm doing.
I forgot that you had the caps lock on.
Yeah, like why is it in all caps? It's the grannies. Nice parking job, Rita.
Followed by 2 exclamation points and then 5 ones.
Somehow, my personal favorite, my grandmother, she always typed in all caps. Okay. And like she didn't understand the nuance. She also blogged. She created a newsletter for Christmas that was, she had to get special postage for, because it would be like 5 pages of her special stationery front and back that cataloged her entire year.
That is awesome.
She's dead now. So my Christmas is much lighter. But yeah, so anyway, she would type in all caps, and then when she would hold down the exclamation point because she was so damn excited, it would do the Spanish, because And then she would like, because she's like me, or I'm like her, she would put it in there and she was like, I have no idea what that means. I don't know why I did that, but it would be connected to the exclamation points. Be like, that's super exciting. Why did it go upside down? I don't know. And it would just be stream of consciousness. This is before talk to text. Okay. She would make it an effort to just type out her thoughts.
Yeah.
Grace Sinclair, what an angel she was.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandmother was an amazing woman. I'm fully convinced that I am slowly turning into her, minus the jumping off bridges for cigarettes, which is what she did as her teenage rebellion. She was also on the Olympic diving team. Like, well, I should say she was an alternate. Yeah.
So she's diving. She's like showing off her diving skills by jumping.
No, she just wanted to really piss off her dad. So in her youth, her dad was a fireman in New Hampshire. So she wanted to upset him in whatever way possible because, Irish patriarchy or whatever. So she just jumped off bridges for cigarettes. Chesterfield, she smoked them damn near the whole time I knew her until she quit. She also introduced us to Manischewitz, which is a kosher wine. So that one year, the one year that my cousins and I were allowed at the adult table with my grandmother for Thanksgiving, which was her big thing. And she was feeling nostalgic, as older people tend to do. And she made us go to the liquor store in Connecticut where she lived and get a whole bunch of wine. And I'm not joking. She has like a whirlpool tub. So we just put a whole bunch of ice in it, kept it classy, and put all the wine in there that everybody wanted so they could have whatever they wanted with the Thanksgiving dinner. Like she was fancy, but she didn't like do the rules about the wine, like whatever you wanted. So we got ordered to buy her Manischewitz, which tastes like Welch's grape jelly, but alcoholic. No. And I just remember all of us out of politeness took a cup, for tasting. And she had a goblet because she was committed. And I remember all of us took a sip and every single one of us were like,
yeah.
Because if you've not imagine it being super, 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 super sweet. And I don't mean a good way either. Like, I mean, you're pretty much, it's fermented Welch's grape jelly.
Yeah.
And she took a big old swig and she was like, well, that doesn't taste like my memories. And I just remember thinking like, and then she told the whole story.
I love old people drinks.
Yep.
We have this
it's important for me to preface too, by the way, she wasn't Jewish. Yeah. I have no idea. Well, she was jumping off bridges for cigarettes and she was drinking kosher wine because apparently that's all she can get her hands on. So she's from a British Irish family. I don't know why she's straight up Irish Catholic. I have no idea. But I do know that I will never do that again. Like Manischewitz, no.
Well, my wife and I are Episcopal, and one of the jokes that is often said about Episcopalians is that where 3 or 4 Episcopalians are gathered, there is usually a 5th. So whenever we would have gatherings and anybody would say, hey, what should I bring to your house? We'd say, bring the alcohol of your choice. And there was this one older couple I loved to death. The husband of this couple has now died. But when they were alive, you could count on these 2 old people in their 80s to bring creme de menthe.
Oh.
I love old people and their drinks.
No. So the equivalent for that for you guys. Okay, so Manischewitz, creme de menthe. I don't know what your experience was like when you were a young person rebelling against whatever. Maybe you never did. I would never assume any of you ever did any illegal things in your entire life. So this is all hypothetical. I'm going to talk about my teenage rebellion for a second and place myself in a way in which I'm old. But like drinking was not a thing for us where I'm from, like it was, yeah. But it wasn't until I moved to Tennessee where I was like, damn, that's all you guys do is like go to these cornfields and like drink. Why? And it didn't resonate with me. Okay, it's really important I say that. I'm not judging, but it was like, so you go to a field? I thought that was a joke. I thought that was not like,
I thought that was the stereotype.
yeah, I thought that was just something people made for comedic relief in a movie, that you go to a field and just drink in a field, but apparently not. And I was introduced to Mad Dog 2020. I mean, it was there when I was like a teenager, like in North Carolina or whatever, but like we all drink it because that's all we could get our hands on. And then it was like, yeah, we're still not drinking it, it was like it was there. But yeah, man, my Tennessee high school experience for that 1 year of senior year, I was like, you guys actually drink this, like legit, this is it. And hunch punch, where it was pretty much dumping a whole bunch of super sweet shit into a Coleman cooler
and letting it ferment.
And with ice, it had to be Sonic ice. And like a whole bunch of alcohol that they got from their parents' house. And I'm like, you guys are gonna die. Like, you're gonna die. There's so much alcohol in here. Like, who is driving you home? Meanwhile, I'm drinking Zimas with Jolly Ranchers in it, and they thought that was like,
oh man, boy, that's 90s as hell. The Zima with the Jolly Rancher dropped in it.
Zima with the Jolly Rancher in it. But I remember like when I went to this party, right? They're all just like, they already thought I was weird because I wasn't from there. I moved my senior year, and they're like, you're not gonna have any of this. I think they were calling it like hunch punch, and I'm like, no, I don't know. That looks like vomit. I'm not interested in that. They're like, it's really good. I was like, I don't care. I brought my own. And they were like, oh, you're drinking Zimas? Like, that's a thing? I was like, yes. Okay. And I remember I had one where it had lemon heads in it, and they're like, it's already lemony. I was like, yeah, no. And then just Jolly Ranchers. So while we are reminiscing and making fun of old people drinks,
I'm sure we'll have hours. Yeah,
can make fun of ours. I don't know what Jason's were. He may not be telling you, but I remember that blue Mad Dog 2020 and the one that was supposed to be strawberry. I also remember Goldschlager. Do you remember that, Jason?
I don't think I ever had any of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Goldschlager and Aftershock, where it had like the cinnamon crystals. Man.
Yeah.
Just no.
I mean, I say used to. I'll still do it. Just because no one ever educated me that Fireball should be like mixed into something else. So I just drink that stuff straight. So I guess.
How did you not know?
Huh?
How did you not know?
No one educated me on that. So
you've just been drinking it straight up.
Oh yeah, and I'll still do that. I'll still take a sip.
I'm judging, but at the same time, I'm like.
So perhaps when I'm 80 and I'm invited to the dinner party, it'll be just a bottle of Fireball. There you go, guys.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So for those of you at home who are just now tuning in, I have a funny story I'm going to tell. I haven't just embarrassed myself, but maybe you're familiar with this drink called Jägermeister.
Yeah. That tastes like a licorice stick, only fermented.
It is. Yes. So it's beyond just teenage thing. That wasn't really that big of a deal until I started college. And I was like, well, yeah, cool. But then I went to Germany And I went and toured the facility that makes Jägermeister, and we went to this bar where it was near the Universität de Braunschweig, and we taught those German kids, college kids, about Jägerbomben, aka Jaeger bombs. It was 2 for 1. It was super cheap, and we were like ich möchte eine Jägerbomben bitte, and they were just sat here and they're like, Jaeger, was ist das? What is that? And we're like, Jägermeister und Red Bull. And they're like, okay. And I just remember the bartenders were like, that's it. And we're like, yeah, you gotta drop it. So a whole bunch of kids from America are sitting here, like college kids are sitting here at the bar of the Joker.
Yeah.
And they're watching us, and we're getting 2 for 1. So that's a big deal because Jägermeister is like, super expensive. So, and it wasn't small. It was like a bottle, like a Coke. They filled up a whole thing, like what you would get at Pizza Hut or something with Coca-Cola. And it was like double and triple shots of Jägermeister. And I can't tell you how great my German got.
Yeah.
Like I ended up speaking in German, perfect German, to a dude who was our taxi driver because I am blitz, who was from Turkey, who was trying to speak it, and we communicated beautifully. All of my friends were like, this is amazing. My host sister Merla, she was like, your German is fantastic. I was like, I am drunk.
Yeah,
I'll never forget Merla actually. Whenever we came stateside, and like 2 weeks later, and she's like, yeah, they had to put signs up, like, a limit to how many Jägerbomben you're allowed, because the American kids were over here like 2 for 1. Like it was, I think 2 for 1, and it was €3.
It's like your body is so confused because you got the Jaeger that wants to which is trying to be a suppressant, and then the Red Bull that is the upper, and both of them dehydrating the hell out of you. Yeah,
but then it makes
your
you more
just
thirsty.
like, I don't even know what to do with this.
Yep. It was the best time of my life, man. So that's my claim to fame. I'm one of 17 American students who taught the Braunschweig Universitätsstudenten about Jägerbomben. It's a fun time. And then I went and hiked up the mountains, the Harz Mountains, the next day, hungover as crap, and got lost.
I hope you had plenty of water.
I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Like the Germans, when they say they're gonna go Wandern, like just from my experience, don't trust that. Because they mean like epic hikes, and I'm like, yeah, I can go Wandern, that's fine.
They mean, you see that mountain over there? Let's go walk over that mountain. Yeah.
Yeah. We took a ski lift to get up there, which I didn't think anything about, right? And it was like we went to this Hexen resort, which is like witches and shit. It was really cool. And these caves and whatever. And we had to climb down the mountain on like a trail. And I'm not joking. I wore flip-flops like an idiot. And I mean, like, not even good flip-flops. Like, not like none of the good ones that you could possibly pull off. I mean, I just wore like Croc-esque flip-flops. I was hungover. I was so not having a good time. I'd just eaten like a whole bunch of currywurst, which is like a curry sausage, which is very filling.
Yeah.
And I would do that in a heartbeat again. So feel free to make fun of our old people drinks.
Yeah, I don't think now at age 44 that I want to do a bunch of Jaeger bombs.
I do. Still, what's really, really good? FYI, get those white cranberry strawberry juice cocktail and get Jaeger, because I have Jaeger, obviously. And you mix it in there. It is so good, but man, you have to pay attention.
I'll sip on Jaeger just by itself and not worry about mixing it into anything. My wife is weird about that, but I kind of like that flavor. And interestingly, like I don't like that black licorice flavor in other stuff for whatever reason. Once it's got that burn on top of it, I dig that flavor.
You should drink
Uh,
it hot. Just
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
no,
well, not hot necessarily, but okay. So
it's a
whenever I go,
digestive technically, just so you
whenever I
know.
go to Horn Island, or I guess we haven't done it now in 2 years, but whenever I go out there, for anyone watching who doesn't know, it's a bunch of us artist types. We go and like live on this uninhabited island for about 9 days, just camping out there. There's no air conditioning, so I always have a bottle of Jaeger that I take out there with me because it's perfect for sipping on around the campfire at night. And it's just been sitting in my tent all day. It's hot. There's no way to keep it cold out there. I've usually got like a thing of Jaeger, and I'll take a thing of
Fireball, apparently.
Fireball. I'll take a thing of Fireball. That's good for sipping around the campfire at night too. And like I discovered that that Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey tastes really nice out there in the sea air, and so I'll have those 3 bottles with me.
Yikes. Just
Now, have we
there are
made
fuel
it?
sources at the very minimum. If you needed something for fire, you at least have 2/3 of those that can help you.
So, are we like putting out our own blackmail material by releasing this video to us?
I don't care. You can totally talk about it. I can substantiate it. If you don't believe me, I can substantiate it. I have photos of the signage that came up after the American students at the Joker in Braunschweig. I also have photo evidence of me wandering the next day, really not happy. Just yeah, it's weird. All of you should try and travel at some point. To those of you who are international students, like this really isn't for you because obviously you've traveled, you're here.
Yeah.
But like for American students, like you should totally get out of the country. And I don't mean Jamaica. No offense to Jamaica or anywhere in the Caribbean that's become kind of gentrified because of resorts. I mean, like you really got to get out. Like get out.
Go somewhere where you're staying in a room that's about the size of my office.
Yeah.
That's such an old building that either there's a bathroom that's been shoehorned in and one end of that bathroom is narrower than the other.
Yeah.
Or that there's a shared bathroom that all of the different rooms on that floor have. That's where you need to stay.
Yeah, go internet, like seriously, go international somewhere and just enjoy yourself. It's really interesting. The big thing for me was just like, wow, okay. It never got dark. I was so confused on time the entire time I was there in Germany, and I can read a watch, and I can speak German. It's fine. Obviously, it was an immersion setting, but it was like it didn't get dark. We went in the summer, early summer, so like May.
Yeah.
The end of May, and I can't tell you, I had no idea. It wasn't until so obviously it sounds like I have a drinking problem, but we were at a beer garden. Okay, because that's what you do. The weather is really nice. Imagine, for those of you who are from Tennessee, being able to sit outside and just like enjoy the night without being eaten alive by some predatory pterodactyl-esque bug. Okay, and it's beautiful. It was lovely, but it never got dark at the time that I thought it was. So it was dusk, or what I assume is dusk for us, at like 7-8 o'clock at night in the summer, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh, I have to go home. This is last call. And
I
the
thought
dude's
Germany
like,
was
yeah.
far enough south that kind of thing didn't happen.
So it was just that it got full dark, but it took forever for it to get there. So at last call, it looked like our dusk, so like at 8 o'clock. So yeah. I was so confused because I'm like, oh, we'll walk to another beer garden. It's fine. And we did, and like people, it wasn't just us young people, like everyone was out. You know what I mean? It was like the weekend. Everyone was out at a beer garden, like that was a regular thing. So I just remember like when it was last call, I was like, wow, you guys close up early. And then they're like, so it's like 3 a.m. And I was like, holy shit. What? it doesn't look like it. And I'm like, wow, okay. And then, you know, we went other places. It was interesting to see like 80-year-old people. And I don't say there's a negative way. Like, I mean, like 80, like old people,
Yeah.
octogenarian people, like sitting there drinking at like 2 o'clock in the morning, just having a good time. It was lovely. Like, I would love for all of you to experience that in that capacity. Like, find people that you can travel with, that you trust, that will help you. Go to places too that give you like free stuff as a student. Like, dang, I didn't pay for crap.
Oh, yeah.
Except for what just showed your student ID, even my American student ID. And I got to ride buses, I got to ride trains, like got to visit
like,
a whole bunch of historical stuff. It was
That's
great.
what I was about to say. Like, if museums are your thing, man,
Yeah.
you flash a student ID and you're in. Yeah.
Like, I got to go to a whole bunch of castles, like
Mhm.
German castles, just by showing my ID, man. Like, go, like, you can go and travel. And anyway, all of you have amazing summer plans, I'm sure. And just know that we want to be to those places too.
Yes. And that we may have talked a lot about alcohol here. Please be safe. Be safe.
None of you would drink. We would not encourage any of you to drink ever. Ever.
Come
That's
back.
not a
Come back
conversation. Yeah.
alive. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I just
We
say
want
come back
you to
alive.
have a good time and cope in whatever way you feel works best for you, that is the healthiest for you at the time. Because sometimes you have to learn these things, like what happens to you the next day after you drink a lot of Jägerboven. Saying, or as Jason says, like drinking Fireball straight up. Like, you learn a lot about yourself when you are put in these experiences. I was just in my office earlier talking about Taco Bells and being under the influence, and how Taco Bell tacos, like something about those, this is before the party packs, but man, you could get a lot with like 4 people who are also under the influence. You can get a lot of tacos to satisfy that craving. So
there is something about alcohol and trash tacos.
oh my god, that's one thing I would miss about California. Like, I can't tell you how badly I miss like the Roach Coach tacos.
Yeah.
Like, and I've tried some local, you know, like foodie, but they're foodie tacos. Like, I want California silver. It, like, you're questioning your life choices when you look on the outside of it, but damn, those tacos. Street food is just, I don't know, some delightful. Anywho, so I'm going to ask nothing but questions about all of this stuff that I talked about today. So none of this is on the final. We just thought you'd like to know who we are. Obviously, we may need to revisit our views on old people drinks.
If you've not had a creme de menthe, try it at least once in your life. It's a what was the wine you were just talking about that tasted like?
Manischewitz.
Yeah, if that's grape jelly that's been fermented, creme de menthe is like spearmint gum, but fermented.
Yeah, it would be like making a hooch punch,
Yeah.
but throwing a whole bunch of like Take 5 gum.
Yeah.
But it's just like moonshine.
And
all
it's
right. So that moonshine with no
green.
flavor. What?
And it's electric green.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I don't get it. Like, I
mean, you're not going to tell the sweet 80-year-old husband and wife,
no,
no, I don't want your creme de menthe. You're going to at least take a shot.
Because like civil responsibility / decorum requires that anytime that a person offers you alcohol and you are of the drinking persuasion, that you never shame them, unless you're drunk at a bar. That's different. But when they bring you into their home, You know, like you don't ever crap talk a person's alcohol in their home because they're intimately sharing it with you. You have
Yes.
communion, no pun intended. You have to follow the rules. Peach schnapps. That's God. There's so many that I can think of off the top of my head where it's like you get coerced into tasting so much garbage. You know?
Yeah.
Like I can't think of the one off the top of my head. So what is the clear stuff that's in Greece? Is it starts with an A? I don't know. I should Google it. I've had that before because it's like it's part of the social custom. You go visit, you know, like my sister or my cousin-in-law. I don't have a sister-in-law who's married to a Greek guy. I have a cousin who's married to a Greek guy, and he will provide ouzo. And that's
Okay.
you can't say no because that's not the custom, and you're the guest in the house and there's reasons for it. And
Yeah.
ouzo.
I've never heard of it, never tried it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You said it began with an A, and I was like, we're not talking about
Because I was sitting here trying to
absolute
think. I was like, I think it's OU. Man, I've never been sicker. There's only been like one other alcohol that's made me sick, like sick, and that was Captain Morgan's spiced rum, and I'll never touch that again. I can't even stand the smell of it. I can't be in the room if someone opens it. I smell it and I immediately get taste aversion, and I can feel my jaw like starting to ache, like I ate a Sour Patch Kid or something, like just or super warhead where it's like you can feel that you're going to vomit. Yes.
Well, Christmas, around Christmas time, I often have that and some eggnog. So you may not want to be around our house around Christmas.
No, I don't mind. Like, so I don't mind like rum, and I don't mind, but it's the Captain Morgan special spiced rum. Yeah. Like, so Kraken, obviously I have that in my house because that's a cool looking bottle. I don't drink rum, but that's my husband's drink. He puts it in Dr. Pepper. And I was like, is that a thing? And he's like, I don't know. It's what I always drank. I'm like, okay. Like, do you put anything else in it? And he's like, no. And I'm like, all right, that's fine, I guess. But yeah, that just, it's that, and I can tell you the color of the bottle. Be at the store and see the bottle and like, that's mine. That is it. Never sicker in my entire life.
Yeah, I get when it doesn't even have to be alcohol. When either a particular thing that you put into your body makes you sick, or you get sick and it just happens to coincide with something that you've eaten or drank.
So hang on, I'm going to share
that thing for the rest of your life.
So this is ouzo. For those of you who don't know, it is a dry anise flavored aperitif that is consumed in Greece. So it is clear.
So it's anise flavored. So then does it have a licorice kind of flavor to it too?
Just putting that out there.
So I don't know if, because since I'm recording it on my end, you were showing us that and then it completely locked up. And then the next thing I heard was, I'm just putting that out there. So I don't know what you said in between.
All I heard from your end was, so it's anise flavored. And I said, yes, anise flavored. And then it just kind of froze on both of us, I think.
What I said on my end was, then is it also kind of licorice flavored, not unlike Jaeger?
No, there's some stuff that's mixed in with Jaeger, the extra stuff. This is like,
yeah, because Jaeger is like it's got the anise, but it's also got like clove and stuff like that. That's right. Yeah.
This is, imagine drinking like moonshine, but like with licorice, like black licorice. Yeah. And I don't mean like the kind Twizzler black licorice either. I mean like legit, real licorice, like
where the kind of licorice where you eat it and then your tongue can't taste anything after that.
Yeah.
No matter what else you try to eat, you don't taste it anymore.
Yeah. I'm gonna play us out. We may have to
Okay.
put this one straight onto Google Classroom because I wanted to play this for as long as it got to the part that people would recognize. Just
Okay.
so just putting that out there.
Okay.
I can't stand the rain against my window, bringing back sweet memories. Yeah, when the rain, do you remember how sweet it used to be?
So on my end, it locked up again. So I don't know how much of that made it to the recording because it completely froze again.
You're behind too on your end. It's like there's like a 2-second delay.
Yeah, but since I'm recording on my end, what I imagine is going to happen is that it's going to play that music for a little while and then it'll just like, how do we want to wrap it up at this point?
I don't know what's going on, man.
I think the Wi-Fi is just bad in this building right now.
Are you on Wi-Fi? I'm on LAN.
Yeah, I should have, but here, I'll do that. I'll connect to that.
Well, I mean, we're
then-
technically done. So
yeah, well, I don't, but if you wanted to, okay, so you don't want to play their song then?
it just froze again on my end. Did you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I said it just froze really bad on your end as soon as you plugged it in.
Yeah, but now, like, everything's good. So if you want to play your music so we can
No,
hear the full
let's
thing.
just
Okay.
end this. This has gone on forever. If it plays,
Sure.
it plays. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Okay.
See you guys next week.
All right. Good luck with finals. Take care. Bye.